This is the Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I would like to tell you guys some big news. First of all, on the Men of High Value channel, we just cleared 1,000 subscribers. I'd like to thank you guys for participating here on the Girls of High Value channel as well. And also some big news is that, I've told you guys before that I lived in Norway. My wife was in America for a few short months while I was kind of handling business in Norway. And we came to the point where we kind of want to spend some time together, so we decided to go to Vancouver, Canada, met there for a week, and then we decided while we're there, hey, you know what, let's go back to Europe and live in Tbilisi, Georgia, which is Eastern Europe, right between Europe and Asia, and this is where we are right now. We've been here 10 days. We're actually fired up and excited about being here at least 1 year, and then we'll see where it goes beyond there. But yeah, we're here. It's me and my wife, the 3 kids, and fortunately we've been so grateful and so happy to be able to have someone working with us. Her name is Maya. She's a wonderful lady who's cooking our food and being such a good help for us and the kids and helping us get established here. So I wanted to share a little bit today about why you want to have nothing to do with the financials in your home. As physically, mentally possible. The whole point of this channel is to help men become masculine. That's for the Men of High Value channel, and for girls to remain in their feminine state, which they grew up with, which is their normal state. But over time, women become more and more masculine. Eventually, they become totally masculine, and it's a problem. They allow themselves to be rejected by going out into the workplace, and it just creates burdens, creates responsibilities, and creates a lot of weight on women's shoulders that is not really necessary for them to take upon themselves. And then the opposite is being feminine, which basically means that you're unburdened and you're allowing yourself to do what you want to do when you want to do it for as long as you please, and then and allowing yourself to be more social than you would normally be if you were weighed down with the world and with responsibilities and everything that you have to do as a superwoman, as a lot of women out there are trying to be. If you're feminine and you get your social in with other women, it's just so much easier to focus on relationships, focus on health, which is what women really care about and really want, but they never really seem to take the time for them to actually do that. Or when they do take the time, it's lonely because all their friends are doing something else, and it's just really difficult. So that's what this channel is about, is helping women to figure out how to remain in their feminine state, because that's where they can tap into the most joy, most happiness, and most depth when it comes to their relationships. And what does that have to do with financials? Okay, so in my opinion, I would say that the more information on a woman's financials or a woman's financial situation a woman has, the more burdened she will be. If you think about money, money is something that comes in and then goes out. It comes in and then it goes out. And a woman's responsibility really is to spend money, okay? This is how it's always been throughout all generations of time. If you don't think about money in a sense, but think about it from a gatherer-hunter type of society, where the men went out to hunt the beasts and to hunt the animals, and then they came back, and then the women were cooked the meat. It's not like the men would hunt it and then they'd come home and then the men would prepare the meat and the women would just laze around and do nothing all day. No, women were actually cooking together and enjoyed the process of cooking together with the other women of the village. And then what ended up happening is that they would cook the meal together. They'd be happy together. They'd prepare this amazing meal, and then everyone would eat together as a huge village or as a family or whatever it was. That's what created happiness and joy. And women were spending, okay? So the man brought in, and then the women put out the food. and then it was eaten. Okay, so every time the man brings home money these days, women are used to spending it. That's that's their job, is to spend it. This is the way it is with governments as well. The government doesn't provide any income. It doesn't create any income. The income comes from the businesses and the people working and producing, and then the taxes come in, and then the government, which is the feminine entity, now spends it. And that's all that they do. They spend the money. So in the same way, women spend the money. And they're good at it, and they want to spend all of it. Why wouldn't you spend all of it if there's money left over? You're not supposed to have money left over. This is like government departments that are like, we need to spend all of this money, because if we don't, then we'll get a less money next year. And also businesses do this. They're like, at the end of the year, they're like, we need to spend all of the money, because if we don't, then we get less budget next year. And women, in a sense, are exactly the same. I need to spend all of the money because I want more stuff. And so I need more money. And so they spend it all. So anyway, what I'm basically trying to describe to you is that women were designed to spend. Men were designed to create money. Women were designed to spend. So what does that mean when it comes to money and a family situation? Well, if the wife knows that there's a lot of money allotted, this is kind of the feminine brain, okay? If a woman is masculine, the more masculine she is, the more she'll be disciplined about their finances and about where what goes, and no, we shouldn't spend money on that, and we shouldn't spend money on that, and we should put, and she'll be anal about it, the more masculine she is. But the more feminine she is, the more she'll spend. And she'll be excited about spending, and she'll love it. And you know what? That's how it's supposed to be. Okay? Like, women were designed to spend, and we should not be apologetic about it. Women love to buy stuff. Women love to go out and buy clothes. Women love to go traveling. Women love to spend. And it's beautiful if it's within the boundaries that has been set in advance. Okay. So, if a woman now spends all the money, guess what? The man has to go out and make more. And if the woman spends all of his money, guess what? He has to spend all of his time making more money. So they end up never spending time together, which is a problem. So how are we going to do this? What is the solution? Well, first of all, the woman needs to stay away from all financial income. Like, you don't want to be working. You don't want to create the income at all. Because if you create the income, then you feel like the money is there. And if the money is there, you're going to spend it all. It's better for you to allow the man to actually create the income and then set the borders for how much is going to be spent on a monthly basis. And then you know what it is that you should spend. And you learn how to spend within that limit that you've been given. And then when suddenly the limit is increased, oh, wow. Suddenly, it's an automatic way for you to look at your husband and say, wow, he increased my limit. This is a very important aspect to mention here, because he needs to be the right guy and he needs to be trustworthy. Because if he's not trustworthy, then sometimes, this is what I've done in the past, because I've not been able to put my wife in a situation where she has all of the things that I'm describing to you right now. But that's what the Men of High Value channel is basically all of my mistakes put into a system so that guys never have to make the same mistakes that I've done in the past. But what I did in the past was I basically gave my wife something, and then after 3 or 4 months, I would take it away. It's kind of like I gave her a salary, and then we're like, oh man, yeah, we're getting kind of short now, so I have to stop paying you the same amount of money that I was paying you in the past. And she's like, don't give me something if you're going to take it away. Right? So that's kind of what we have to be able to do, is allow the man to create a system where it will exponentially grow what he's actually giving his woman. The limit should continuously grow. It shouldn't grow and then stop or fall. It should continuously be going up, of course, because his income will do exactly the same. The smarter he gets, the wiser he gets with his money, the better investments he makes, the better leader he becomes, of course the more money he's going to make. The more money he makes, then of course the better or increased spending limits you're going to have. And that's the situation you want to have, where you start out really small, but you have no idea about the financials. You've got no idea how much money he has, and that's the right way to do it. Okay, it sounds freaky when it comes to independent women, because they're like, oh no, I need to know that I make my own money, and my mom told me that it was horrible that the husband, he had control over the money and all of that. The problem was that she knew exactly what he was making. That's the problem. Okay, you want to make sure that you have no idea how much he's making. You want to stay as far away from the financials as possible, as long as you get with the right guy. He has to be a trustworthy guy, and in my opinion, he has to be stamped as the man of high value. This is why I'm trying to get younger women to participate in this Girls of High Value channel, because it's going to take time to develop these guys. It really will. But over time, we're going to have amazing guys who actually know what they're doing, who actually understand the woman, who actually will get the woman whatever it is that she desires, and create the lifestyle that not only what she desires, but also that he desires. Because guess what? He wants his wife to be happy. Happy wife, happy life. But what comes before that is an amazing leader, okay? I always tell the guys that a woman is a reflection of you. Your leadership, amazing woman, okay? And if your leadership sucks, guess what? The wife is gonna suck as well. He's actually making businesses that actually produce positive cash flow, and that he can create more and more different projects, which makes it so that the woman has no idea how much money he's actually making, but he's continuously creating a limit that over time massively increases, and then she's able to go out there and buy the necessary things for the home that she needs to do, the food that she needs, the clothes that they need, whatever it is, and then he pays the bills. Very simple. He pays the bills, and she's given an allotment where she's able to choose this and this and this. And guess what? Maybe if she wants to save money, she can save money. But the better it is, the more feminine you are, the more you'll spend it all. And to be honest with you, I would rather just spend it all, unless you're saving for something really fun. Okay, but that's kind of my overview of what I would want my family to look like, and that's where we're getting towards. You know, when I'm establishing several businesses, I'm giving my wife something that I know I can consistently do over a long period of time, and then the more money I make, the more I gradually a little bit expand her spending limits, but I always increase the spending limit less than what my income increases.